Good morning everyone and welcome back to Mr. Bravo's workshop. We are still continuing on with this 1/700 scale Bismarck. The last episode we did section 18 and we're now up to 19 in the book. So I'm just looking at the book here, and in the last section we finished off 18, which technically was the last structure of the ship. So what's happening now? So it's section 19 and 20 to go. So I think what it is now is we've got all the small bits and pieces that are going on the ship, and most of those will have to come off and be painted a different colour and then go on. So I would say the main structure is done, and we could probably even get a way of gluing that on there now and sending that home. So there's the floor and the structure. I've just popped it on. It basically just sits on there like that. If I can get it back on again, there we go. So it's a very good fit, and it's not warped. It's still nice and straight and very easy to go on. That'll go on nice and easy. So what we need to do now is need to work out what we're going to do with the hull, because before I glue this, and I'm very happy with all of that. Let's put that to one side. Let's go back to the hull for a minute. It does have a waterline in here, so it's not hard to do. So I think what we might do is we might go back to the hull and sort this out, so then we can add the top piece. I just wanted to mention, because these are 1/700 ships, I'm not going to go all out on these. I'm very happy with the ship. It's just these are a smaller version, and this is really for, I'm showing if a young person wanted to do this kit, probably one of the better ways of doing it. And so far we've got a pretty good version of the ship. There's no timber floor in this ship. It's just we did some work on the floors. We've used the original plastic, and it looks quite nice. So what we'll do now is gee, what will I do with the hull? I don't know. Hang on a minute. So I brought the hood back for a minute, because I did actually paint the main structure of this one and the hull. Not that you can tell, because, well, the paint was almost identical to the plastics anyway. And we did kind of cheat a little bit on this one, because we did not paint all the small plastics here. And I did, and same with some of these pieces just here. They're just original plastics, just been varnished off, and that's it. Things like the flue and that, they got painted, which is why they look slightly different. Now on this ship, I think what we're going to do is something similar. Because the hull and these plastics are all the same, we do have a little bit of steel work here. We could probably hit that with a slightly watered down base. Not everywhere, but just some places, or leave it. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mask this up, and I'm just going to put a red base on it and keep the plastics looking the same on this kit, to try and make these two kits look the same and, you know, fairly easy to build. So I just got the sticker kit out. Not that I'm a big fan of using these anyway. I've actually ruined a couple of models because of stickers, and this is a reason I'm not a big fan of it. Oh gee, that looks nice the way that is. So what I'll do is there's a black line marked out on this one. I'm not going to do it. The 1/700 enthusiasts probably would, but I'm not. So we'll mark out for the red. So before we do anything, let's give the hull a little bit of a scuff up all over. So I just gave this whole hull a good scuff with water, because I believe it's the best way to sand, and just gave it a bit of 400 with some paper. None of these or anything, just normal paper. So I've given the whole hull a bit of a scratch up. And I'm having a close look at this, so let me just bring you a little closer. Oh. So I've got you zoomed in a long way there. It was the only way I could get you to focus. As you can see, there's two lines through there, and that represents the black line. If you wanted to, you could actually put a black line on the ship And what I would probably do is, I don't know if I can come in there with my pointer. Where are we? There we are. What I would do is probably put the tape from here up to there if you want the black line, and then I would just spray black from there down and then put a secondary line across here if you wanted to. I kind of want these two ships to look similar but different, so I'm going to go without the black line. If I had to put the timber floor on, I would definitely do the black line because this ship pretty much marks it out for you. So that's my take on that, and I almost considered it, and I still might. I'm borderline whether I'll do a black line on this. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, I know this line is not perfectly on there. You would mark up your top line to keep your grey, and then just spray black just on this section here, and then you can mask over your black and then just do your red. You know what, I'm a little tempted to do this. Let's do it. So I just mentioned the word spray, and some of you won't have spray equipment, but you can do exactly this but with a brush, and you can just paint it on and then just put your tape over your black line and continue. You don't need a spray gun, you can do it without it. So there's a bit more tape on. There's the next one on. Now just the nose to go. So there's one side done, we'll do the other. So I like to run them past and then pretty much over each other, and then I like to pinch the ends. So you can do it any way you like, but that's the way that I like to do it. And then you could probably even pinch it over like that if you wanted to. So that's a nice clean end bit there. Got some moulding and stuff here, so just got to be a little careful around that. So I'll keep working on those. Well, there we have both sides all taped up. So that is above the black line. So what we'll do now is we'll give this just a small touch of undercoat, and then we'll hit this with the black. Well, there it is all set up, ready for a bit of undercoat. So there it is now, the primer's now done. We'll get some black ready. I've always got a little bit of black on hand, and yeah, this one's ready to go almost. So the black is all ready to go, and I've just checked the gun and it's working rather well. I've just turned it way down, because all we really want is just the hint of a black line on there. I'll just turn it up a bit more. I'll do the front nose. That's it, it's all you want. We'll do that all the way around, and then we'll come back. There's one side. So there's the black line on. Gave it 2 quick coats all the way around. In the end I just gave it one sort of blast, just in a one line. So we're going to let that go off. So now that the black line is on, you can just make out the line there of where the tape needs to go. So what we're going to do is we're going to now cover up from this side back and pretty much put a tape over that black line. It's been a good 15 minutes. It is lacquer paint. Yeah, it should be fine by now. So there it is, covered up on one side. So we've retaped over it, leaving about a mil, I suppose, line. So we'll do the other side. So there's both sides now done, and what we do need to do is we need to fit these props and stuff because we're going to paint the hull. So for that we need B4 and B5. So there's the 2 pieces off. We'll get them together like that somehow. Join them up. So there is one together. There's the next one together. So there's the first one glued on, and I did just give it a bit of a scuff up while it was on there, just to flatten some of the glue out and sort of scuff up the plastic so I can take some paint. So they're both on. I'm not going to be too particular this one. I did give that one another bit of a sand as well. This is not really a show ship. This is more like a desk ship, or just, you know. So that's what I'm after anyway. So now let's get some red ready. Well, hang on, before we go too much further. I was going to get the rudders out, but we're going to put these little angle pieces on. There's only 2 of them, so we'll put, yeah, 2 of them on. Yeah, they are B10 and B11. So now those couple of pieces are on, the prop holders. So yeah, we'll get on with the rudders. So there's the 2 rudders quickly taken off, and I've just given them a quick sand, clean up. Okay, so we are ready now to go and put some red on. Okay, here we are back. I've got the red out. It's all ready to go. So this one has already been thinned. That's why I put a sticker on top, so I don't mix them up basically. So we'll start spraying. So there is a rather heavy dust coat. I was just thinking about it. I'm not actually happy with how the red is covering over the black. Before I think I go any further, I'm going to hit the black line with a bit of grey. It's always easy to cover a lighter colour with a darker one. So we bring this back to light. The red should darken it again. So nothing sort of too fancy there. Just give it a light coat just to darken down the black so the red can do its job. So we'll do the same on this side as well. So just like that. I think I'll do just a little more at the front there. Yeah, that'll do it. So what we'll do now, we'll just dust that grey to bring it up with the base. Yeah, there you can see I've just done the nose of it, and it did. It just brings it all back very even. So that's a good little tip for you if you're going to do it this way. So there's a little more. Well, I think that looks pretty good. Kind of got like 2 to 3 coats on there. Covering out that black was a really good idea because I didn't do it at the back, and you can just kind of make a bit of black coming out. So I think I'll always do that for now. And black's a hard colour to cover anyway. So yeah, so I'm going to let that dry. Okay, I've just set the timer for 15 minutes before, and it's just gone off. Let's see how we did with this. I do have some paint on my fingers because I held the rudders while I painted them. So let's take this over to the bench and see how we went. So there's the hull. What time did we start this morning? Somewhere around 6, so it's kind of getting on a bit. Now, let's see how we did. So I suppose we'll just start off by taking the tape off, much the same way we put it on. So I suppose like all the unveilings, let's do them together and we'll see how we went. Oh, so far pretty good. Yep. Not too sure how even this black line's going to be. I tried to keep it fairly even, but at the same time it's only about 1 mil. So let's do that. So far that's working pretty good. I'll try and take the other tape off and see if we can do both colours in one hit. Actually, we've got to do the next one because that last one's pretty long. So I'll take this one off. Gee, it's stuck down good. Here we go. Very good. Now we can take another piece of tape off. So while we're running around, we'll try and do both together. So there's the first piece. There's the next piece. That looks pretty good. Okay, let's do the red one up here if we can get it off. And get under it, that is. Get under it just like that. And again, we'll pull backwards against the line so it doesn't try and pull anything off. Yeah. Keep going. Pretty good. This is not a 1/350 scale, so I didn't do this to my normal standard, but I mean, we pretty much painted this in one session anyway, so let's keep going with this and see how we went. And again, I kind of want to pull it back the other way. Well, I reckon that's pretty good, that black line. Well, we've got our next piece, so we'll keep running with it. Well, let's get that one off. And there we have it. This tape sticks very easily to itself, and actually it's very hard to undo. So we'll just snip that bit off there. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's not perfect, but you know, this was a quick job, so that's what you expect for a quick job. Yeah, let's do the other side. So peel the first bit up. Now the next piece, if I can get a hold of it. Oh, hang on. Okay, now let's try that. Yep, that's pretty good. Oh, we're getting both pieces here in one. Well, when in Rome, let's take that one off as well. That's pretty good. Liking that. So now we're showing the red and the black together. Some parts is probably a little thin, but considering this was just a morning's work, we've got a little bit of black coming off there. That's a tiny, tiny little touch-up, that is. That is a success story for a black line on a 1/700 scale. Because we can just get those couple little pieces with the brush, and there you have it. So let's just have a quick look at how it's going to look with the ship on there. Not that we're going to glue it down just yet. Yeah, it looks good. Looks really good. All right. Well, I think we're going to call this an episode here. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I'm quite enjoying the build, quite enjoying the Bismarck itself, admiring the 10-story plus tower that it has on it. And yes, this looks very good. Now that we've got the paint on there, we can probably put the sticker kit on there, and we'll have a good mini version of the Bismarck. So hopefully I'll see you on the next one, and bye for now.